Okay, Mr. Anwar Starman, we're getting ready to get this thing started. Countdown in three, two, one. Hello, and welcome to Cast a Strong Style. I'm your host, Don Delarente, and I'm joined by my co-host, none other than Anwar Starman. What's going on, Anwar?
Nothing much, Don. Glad to be back.
Glad that you're back. Hope you had a great WrestleMania weekend up in New York, taking in shows from Stardom, NXT, and of course, the MSG SuperCard between New Japan and ROH, their joint promotional show. So, without further ado, we'll let everybody know that you can find Cast a Strong Style on the CSPN. CSPN can be found on the web at cspn.us. So, Anwar, let's talk about your travels to New York. How was the ride up? How was your, the event surrounding the event? Did you go hang out with the Bullet Club at their little party? Who'd you see as far as walking around the city in your couple of days before this event?
Um, it was just anticipation, just building up for like the trip. But even before I left for like New York, my week was really ridiculous because I went to Raw on Monday and I saw Revival versus Alistair and Ricochet, which was awesome. I saw the great the like legendary segment between Charlotte and Becky and Ronda with the police. The match that they were in before it was garbage, but that brawl was one of the best things WWE's done, like segment wise on TV in many years. So that was awesome. Then on Tuesday I went to see Muse. That was great. I was in a suite, so that made it even more fun. And on Thursday, I was just kind of winding down, ready to go. But I snuck in. I saw Shazam. Shazam was pretty good. Really warm hearted. And then as far as my trip, I was packed and ready to go, and I jumped on my train and just enjoyed my train rides from DC to like New York, and it was really fun to actually. I think I've been on a train when I was younger. I just don't remember it. But just to have that experience to be able to travel through train, now I know how it is, and I could definitely see myself going on a train and visiting like other like friends and stuff via train, or even going to shows and maybe further down south or whatnot. You know, even sometimes visiting Philadelphia because they have shows I like. So every once in a while, I might be down for it. But I got to my hotel and I just had to wait a bit to like check in and whatnot because I guess the previous people took a while to check in, and that kind of threw me off. Like, because I really just wanted to come to New York and just crash a little bit because I was kind of tired. But that kind of played into my kind of exhaustion, like for that night. So, but yeah, man, it was a beautiful. Like I came in when it was raining, but then I left when it was sun shining. So like the sunshine was beautiful Saturday, man.
Sounds like it. Sounds like it. So we'll get into the event on Saturday. Like I said, this is the G1 Supercard from MSG, ROH, and New Japan joint promotional event. Biggest thing going on Saturday night in the city. So we're going to start with the pre-show, and that had the 30-man Honor Rumble, and the winner gets an ROH title shot. Kenny King, who requested to be number one, was in the ring, and he was waiting on who was going to be number two. And it was none other than the King, Minoru Suzuki.
Yes, singing her. You need to sing even if the version that they played wasn't the proper version. It still meant a lot to have Suzuki be there and for us to sing Kazanari. Man, that was such a great moment. It's just Suzuki is so awesome. I'm so mad that he didn't have a bigger part in the show, and he's deserving of it. Suzuki is great.
Yeah, they had a totally different version of something on the New Japan streaming version, the English version of it anyway. So
Mhm.
totally couldn't get the moment, but we could definitely see y'all were building up to it, and we got to hear the loud Kazanira A chant at the end. But I know that was what you were looking forward to the most, so it was awesome that it happened like right off the bat for you.
I was so thankful that I actually got to an event on time and it did not miss that. Like, because that would have sucked if I would have missed that. Like, literally would have sucked.
So some of the legends in here are, of course, Juice and Thunder Liger. Haku makes an appearance, but the biggest surprise is number 30 is none other than the Great Muda.
People lost their goddamn minds when Muda came out. We lost our minds for Liger too because we know this is the last time a lot of us will be seeing Liger in the States. So it meant a lot. But us getting Muta, nobody saw that shit coming. And then when it was just those two, Liger and Muda at the end, I was like, this is Holy Grail situation right here. And this is just the friggin' Rumble. Yeah, man, seeing Muda, man, was awesome.
I think that's the first time since like 1990 that he's wrestled in the United States.
Really?
Yeah, he wrestled. I don't think he's wrestled in the U.S. I can't remember a time where he's wrestled
We
in
gotta
the
we're gonna have to research that one
maybe some
because
independent, but I know that when he left WCW in '89, he might have came back like maybe one time in the early '90s, but that's it.
I think he might have came back in the late '90s because he was part of that NWO Japan.
But yeah, it was awesome, man, just to see him come out and everybody just react to it. It was awesome. So, as you alluded to, it comes down to the Kingdom, the Great Muda, and Juice and Thunder Liger are left. Juice and Thunder Liger and Great Muda, they eliminate the Kingdom. So now we're down to Juice and Thunder Liger and the Great Muda. Liger
Yep.
hits the Shote, but the Great Muda hits a Dragon Screw and a flashing elbow. That's when Kenny King sneaks back in and eliminates both legends because he was hiding under the ring. He never got tossed out. He wins the Honor Rumble. He gets the future title match. And then after the match, he eats the mist from the Great Muda.
He got his just desserts at the end. I want to tell you, I was pissed. I was like, man, I could have let Muda or fucking Liger get that, but knowing Liger how he is, he don't give a fuck about winning no more. He just care about like doing a good performance and helping the next generation get over. So I know if they would have tried to make him win it, he probably like, nah. And Muda was just probably last second entry, so he's like, he wasn't going to be tripping off that. So you give it to the person that's with your company, I get it, but whatever, Kenny King.
Yeah, so Kenny King back in the mix. He'll get a future title shot coming up at some point this summer or later this year in ROH. So we move into the main show in our first match. Jeff Cobb versus Will Ospreay as the IWGP Never title is going up against the ROH TV title in a winner takes all match. Ospreay, he looks for the Stormbreaker. Jeff Cobb counters out and he goes to the ropes only to eat the cheeky Nando's kick. Ospreay heads up top and Jeff Cobb hits a headbutt and then he gives Ospreay a super tour of the islands off the ropes. Cobb hits a second tour of the island and he pins Will Ospreay, and he is now, as well as the ROH television champion, he is also the IWGP Never Openweight champion as well.
It was an awesome, like we saying awesome, but it was an excellent opening main event. Like I have no complaints about it. It set the pace and set the tone for the night. Now, granted, a lot of people didn't live up to that pace and tone, but we'll get to that. Great match, and Ospreay really doesn't lose nothing by dropping this title. It was just a title to get him more further up the card and get more experience versus heavyweights to show that he has more of a future ahead of him in another division or whatnot. And just like how I kept saying, they keep referring to him as junior heavyweight. They did it again on the damn telecast. So I'm just going to assume he's going to be in Best of Super Juniors at this point. Now, the real question is, will he be in also G1 Climax? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah,
And I think they did that too because they didn't know like how fast Hiromu will come back, and having Osprey as a secondary like dude in that division definitely helps ticket sales and whatnot. So I get why they had to do that way, but it's just like I was suspicious of that all along. But yeah, man, Cobb was an awesome wrestler, and they killed it. And Cobb needed him victory more, and it helps establish him in like in Japan even better. Now he's just gonna have to pull out a really good match out of our boy, Lord, Holy Lord, Emperor Taichi. We'll see.
don't you be discouraging the good doggone name of Tai Chi on this podcast, man.
Man, I fuck with Taichi now, but
He's gonna rise to the occasion.
I'm hoping he does. He should feel disrespected not being on that card.
This was an awesome opener. Will Ospreay was jacked up to the max to start off this show. He was really pumped up. The pace, like you said, the pace they set was really fast, and the crowd was really into everything. And Jeff Cobb avenges the tag team loss that he took when they, back here when they were doing the tag team matches when Ospreay and Ishii teamed up.
Yep, that was an awesome match. Yep.
Yep. So we move into Roosh versus Dalton Castle. Roosh hits the running drop kick. He hits bullhorns and another running drop kick. And Dalton Castle is done. It's over. He pins Dalton Castle. His work is done. And we probably had about a minute and a half worth of action after the match. Oh, go ahead, sir.
No, go ahead. Finish what you're saying.
Oh, after the match, a dejected Dalton Castle attacks the boys and he lays them out.
Boy, this was a great washing by Roosh. Roosh washed the hell out of him. I was like, I did not expect that. But if you're developing someone who's supposed to be the future like face of your one of the faces of your company, this is the right move. You have him just kill a former ROH champion. And also it shows like that this ain't it, Chief. You might need to make some new moves, Dalton, and even further his angst in turning on the boys. What just happened? Did it go on mute? Hello? Okay, that's weird. Did the signal die? What happened? That's strange. The fuck?